I don't know how I like this. I'm trying it out. So, hey y'all. I was watching something a second ago and I just had to fire it up and talk about it. I'm not gonna get into what I was watching, but long story short, they were saying something like kids actually noticed the representation in the show and were polled on it and do kids what age do kids even notice representation in a lot of things? Because I sure as shit didn't. Now let me tell you, this is kind of funny actually. At a certain age in my life, I really didn't understand race. Of course, kids at a certain young age aren't. They're either not going to be told about it or just don't have a grasp, don't even notice it. I was one. Now, I of course understood that there were different races and people had different skin colors. I just didn't really understand the genetic part. Didn't really get how. And funny enough, I think this is kind of partially based on me being raised on a poultry farm because baby chicks are different colors from what they become as adults. And I kind of think that might have applied to my kid brain because I kind of figured that everyone's gonna be roughly some skin tone, maybe just a few shades darker than mine, but get darker as they go grow up. I had no idea what the hell I was thinking. I was maybe 6 years old. So now, for instance, they were actually in this video was talking about Dora. Now, I did watch Dora as a kid, and I really did not register at all that she was supposed to be Latina. I mean, for the age demographic, you're not going to be registering much shit about people's race, but the fact that she just is generally pan Latino, not necessarily Mexican or Honduran, etc., that was actually intentional. But as a kid, I was like, okay, she's teaching me Spanish. It never really clicked that's like, okay, ethnicity and culture and stuff. Just not with a 5-year-old. So I'm really wondering what these studies are asking these kids if they notice just the skin tone or if they even have an idea of what a race or culture, ethnicity, whatever. I'm all lispy. I'm sorry. Now, I actually have a funny example of this personally. And this is the primary like Kickstarter when I was thinking about this, having the idea of a video because even though I don't post a lot, I still have tons of video notes, and they're almost always on the back of an envelope. That or a sticky note because I got tons of them. But as a little kid, maybe about 5, 6, 7, my favorite Disney princess was Aurora, Sleeping Beauty. And I always struggle with Aurora. Am I saying it right? Well, I pretty much only liked her because I thought that she looked closest to me and I could potentially look like that when I grow up. I thought it was just the closest thing I had to her was the hair and maybe just living in the woods, but that was so surface level. Like if you ask me what was my favorite Disney princess, I'll be, oh, Aurora, Sleeping Beauty. Not gonna give you why. I don't have a why. It's I think she's pretty. I want to be pretty too, like her. That's ooh, I just tossed my notes. That was my line of thought at that age. And then, funny enough, a little bit later, the show Avatar: The Last Airbender came out. Now, I do remember distinctly. I was sitting on my parents' bed watching the fucking show as a kid. I'd be maybe 7, 8, maybe 9. I don't think I'm maybe not that late actually. Regardless, I'm sitting there kind of just rationing out with myself. Well, she has blue eyes like me. She has long hair like me, and I also kind of wear it in a braid a lot. But her skin is so much darker. If I cosplayed her, I don't know what cosplay, but I still don't know about like Halloween dress up. If I try to dress up like her, would I have to tan my skin? I don't want something that permanent or semi-permanent. Just to, I noticed the skin color, and I didn't really think much past it. And I feel like that's what just kids are generally going to think, especially if if you grew up in the 2000s. That really was not a big fucking point. If anything, they made a big point, more of a bigger point, that it was a girl and not a dark-skinned girl. Which, side tangent, I always deeply loved and appreciated that there was actually a kind of girl power thing of the 2000s. It was that, like, kid-friendly feminism, I guess, in a lot of the cartoons. Namely, I'm thinking of, like, Totally Spies that had this kind of, like, girls rule shit, and thankfully didn't have to have the boys drool tacked on. You know, you can raise one up without denigrating another. But, sorry, my hair's still slightly wet. I showered this morning. Had a little spa day. But back to what I was saying. Comparing Katara and Aurora, it's like, I really like these characters, but why? And it wasn't until I started getting to like 7, 8, 9 that I was really questioning, why do I like these characters? And I liked Katara not only because she has this big sister energy, very, very maternal, but because of that maternal energy, that maternal drive, she's capable. She wants to be able to kick ass and defend not only herself but her loved ones. And I really fucking love that. And like the whole girl power shit, it wasn't just, you know, tomboyism ish. I don't want to put an ism behind it, but you can. I kind of erred toward tomboy, even though I always had a very heavy girly streak too. Aquarius, we're two different things mashed together. But I don't even buy that much into Zodiac, but whatever. What was I saying? Oh yeah, tomboys. That kind of just, a girl can do it too, but it's normal, and we're just gonna act like it is. That I appreciated so much more than just the, oh yeah, kind of Lisa Simpson dares to do football kind of bit. Because I'm thinking of the characters back then that had this kind of girl power energy. I'm thinking like Sissy from Johnny Test, or Katara, of course, Toph, the Totally Spies girls, Powerpuff Girls. Those characters that just, they were capable and just so happened to be female. Those are the strong female characters that most people like and don't even think of as a strong female character because it's been run into the fucking dirt nowadays. And that's pretty much the end of my notes, honestly. I just really wanted to ramble. Just really wanted to just bitch at y'all about stupid shit. And I think that I'm a dip. I will see y'all later, maybe. Hopefully, potentially, bye.